I have Zofia and Marcus here. I met you guys about, was it last week?
Yes.
Yeah. And you guys had been coming like before, right?
Yeah, a few times. Yeah.
And then I met you guys and started talking. I immediately liked your guys' vibe. For whoever who's listening, you guys, you have great hair. Your style's amazing. The jewelry. I'm jealous of your rings, by the way, because I've always wanted rings like that.
Look at hers.
I know, you're all ringed out.
Yeah.
You guys have to show me how to do it.
Yeah, you just, honestly, you put on whatever, and it just all naturally
This is
comes
a ringolution.
So,
nice.
Have you guys always been into fashion?
Yeah.
Well, it's our own. Like I always say, it's not what you wear, it's how you wear it.
Definitely.
We just love wearing stuff that makes a little bit of, brings out a little bit of our personality.
Exactly. Yeah. Because I wouldn't want to just be bland, because how I perceive myself is like with the things that I put on, with the things that I do, and then like when somebody asks like, oh, where'd I get that or stuff like that, it's like it's always different, and I like that. But at the same time, I like when other people wear different things, because I also know like they have their own thing going on, own personality. Yeah. So I think it's kind of really cool. Like I love the shop. Yeah. Because that's exactly what you're doing too. So I enjoy that a lot.
That's the cool thing with the shop, is that we were trying to do this very broad.
Yes.
Because we love bringing in, because we started with markets, right? Rose Bowl, Melrose, all that stuff. And we noticed all our customers were so broad. We'd have teenagers, we'd have older people, younger people, just all mixed in.
Different generations in here, and I love it.
And that's the cool thing, is that it brings in people. It's like a little community. And over there in Long Beach, it's the same thing. It's Belmont Shore. Have you guys been to Belmont Shore area? So it's like a very like tight-knit little community.
It's cool.
It's in Long Beach.
Me too.
And it's just like I meet the coolest people, and like building a little community of like-minded people, and we get all talk. We do poker nights and stuff. So it's just different things.
I love connecting with people, like especially people that you can see that you have like the same mindset. Like me and him, we think a lot alike. Yeah. So I think
she's like me on steroids.
Oh,
yeah.
Please.
Everything's so much better, so much more than I could have ever dreamed. Which makes me so
nice.
Happy, so proud.
Yeah.
And your dad, where are you originally from?
Persian.
Yeah. And then did you come here for school and stuff?
No, I was very young. This is long before all that happened revolution-wise with my family. My dad was in telecommunications, so the whole family first came. I was 7, 8 years old, and then they went back, and I stayed with my godparents.
Yeah.
I would see them once in a while. Then we moved to California. I moved to California in '85.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
And did you see growing up like how your dad was, and did that push you to like really go towards the artsy side, or like where did this come from?
Yeah.
And if you want, just pull the mic a little bit closer to you. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, I mean, all his stories are so inspiring. Like what seriously, his art things, he's an amazing artist. Like
you sing too?
No, she's
talking about.
Oh, there you go. We have to hear you sing.
She's talking about like drawing.
Yeah, he's an amazing drawer. And then like his ideas are just so like, you won't find anybody. In my eyes, I won't find anybody with the same mindset that he does.
Bet her a potion from when she was young to think I'm the best. I know the most. and ideas are great.
And there's always like people that might look down on that and be like, no, it's not good. Like it's good to be confident. It's good to feel powerful about yourself, and because that's who moves mountains, right?
Definitely. And like his own prosperities and like his own values, the way he like, I wouldn't say implement, but the way he like said it, it's like, I want to do that. It's not a way like I need to. It wasn't ever like you need to be this way, you need to do that. It was always like I heard it from him, and obviously my family as well, and it would be like, I want to be that way. Like, yeah.
So it's really rewarding, because I come from an educational family.
Okay.
I wanted to go toward arts. I never forget, I was 15 something. I call my biological mom overseas.
Yeah.
And I'm like so excited, because I just got 2 art scholarships, and I want to go full ride to art school. And I wasn't thinking at that moment who I'm talking to, which my mom. So I'm all excited. Oh, I got full ride scholarships, and she's all excited on the other end, like, full ride. What are you studying? And I'm like, art. Which took her a few seconds. Like, what?
Art.
Art. It's like, what? I'm like, oh, you
Yeah.
know, like I say it in Persian, Farsi, I say, like, Honar, art. It's like, no, I heard art. I understand what art is. And she starts crying. She starts, like, bawling, like, are you, like, crazy? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Because art, in my culture, Persian's like, you have to be the doctor,
Yeah.
dentist, this and this.
So like he always implemented like, I want you to do like your dream. I want to support you with your dream and pursue that because that's who you are. That's what you want to do.
Yeah.
And like he always says, like once you like do what you love, it'll never feel like you're working. This won't be a job to you. This will just be like an amazing, fun life, and just like it'll be very supportive. So
yeah, that's the thing I promised myself, and I'll be quiet. I'll let her talk.
no,
I
we're
promised
asking both.
myself at that moment. I said to whoever higher power is there that I will promise I will not have my kids follow in a way that I want them to follow. I want them to go after their passion. So her older brother going to drama school, wanting to be an actor, and you know, she was 6. I heard her sing in the back seat of the car.
Yeah.
She was singing a difficult, like, Taylor Swift song, like the whole lyrics at that age. And I'm like, I told Mom, I told her, you know, this is a gift. And she's like, oh, because you're daddy, you know, like daddies always love their kids. I'm like, but I'm a realist, and it's very rare the way she connects with lyrics, music, and everything. And I told her, just let me please put her on the path of music,
Thank God.
which she was self-taught first. You know, we got her the instrument, piano, guitar, and then she went further, piano, guitar, bass, drum, and then the singing. When she turned 13, that was the day I couldn't wait that I took her for the first time to a actual studio, to a mic behind, you know, in a vocal booth. And we're driving there, we're talking about like, this is gonna be a different experience. Like, I've been singing all my life already. I'm like, just wait. And she went and she fell in love with it.
Yeah.
And then that was the point that we set up studio at home too, and it was just, she's written over 200 songs.
Dang. Yeah.
We recorded like about how many is it that we recorded?
Like 9 or 10 right now.
9, 10
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
And just mastering them, and just, I can't wait for the world to hear her lyrics, her way of like bringing out a message.
Too nice.
Yeah, no. Well, you saw like,
Yeah.
actually, guys. Did you listen to Cynical too?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah,
I really
it's-
liked it.
Yeah.
You did a great job. The
it's
music video was really cool.
Yeah, her lyrics, and again, I'll be quiet. It's just so much more than what you hear these days. And I'm not trying to put down the world around us. It's just, there's not much of substance when I listen. And I've been watching with her like music videos constantly,
MTV,
like
yeah.
MTV, and like it's either boy, girl, girl, boy, now boy, boy, or girl. It's just like the topic is not. You don't walk out.
Not much depth.
Yeah, nothing that you gain from it. That's what. You know, it's obviously having fun is music, is having fun, but at the same time, sometimes you want to gain something from it. And that's the thing that I think she's going to bring to the table.
It's nice of you.
Yeah.
So what does your music usually revolve around? What are like the deeper things that you're trying to go for?
So,
And then
recently,
you just bring the mic a little bit closer.
Recently,
Perfect.
Yeah,
I
you're good.
just wrote a song about like dreams and like stuff like that, like messages that you can get in dreams, or like it's called prophecy, and I think it's really cool because it, I mean, I know we talked about it, spiritually inclined things like. There's not many people that you can connect to in that way, or experiences, or experience-wise you can connect to in that way. And I talk about, like, in a way, I guess you can say, like, sleep paralysis, but we call it sleep traveling.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's, like, I think it's a really cool message because it's something that maybe a few people can connect to, but at the same time, it's a way to open your eyes that there is more to this world. It's not just the surface, or just like what meets the eye. I love to write in different perspectives. I like to see things going on, like maybe even not even in my life. I see it in a movie, or I see it in the people that I know, and it's certain situations, and I write about how they feel in their perspective of what's going on.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of cool because it's like letting people understand that it is so important to also empathize and realize what people are going through before maybe what you say or what you do towards them, stuff like that. But I feel like that's a little bit of something. And cynical, it's talking about how the world can really shape you, how people around you can really shape you, and even into becoming something very cynical. So that's a little like few messages here and there that I've written about so far. And Electric Eyes is about cherishing every moment, because you never know like really how much time that you do have with somebody.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, those are a few.
Do you want to break down the video that you did, because it was really good?
Yeah, I mean, it was our project.
Yeah.
Her project.
No, please no. It's called Electric Eyes, and I do say it in the trailer of Electric Eyes. I talk about how this is a story to cherish every moment. This one was portrayed in the visual of the father and daughter, but this can really be with anybody. This can be with your significant other, this can be with your parents, really anybody in your life, because you don't know, like in the video, she got, into a car crash.
Don't give the video away.
So you never, yeah, but you never know like what's gonna happen next.
Yeah.
So breaking down perspective, it starts off with her in a cathedral, and she's playing the piano basically, but singing about something that's already happened. And the video is going backwards. You explain a lot better than I do.
No, you're fine.
You got it.
The video goes backwards, and it's like showing flashbacks of things that had happened between them, how how she was younger, how they grew up, like they were very close, but then like her being, a teenager, wanting to get into like things, she goes off with a bad batch of people. So she does things that she believes are cool and that'll make her fit in, but ethically it really doesn't. And so she gets into the car, blah blah blah.
Yeah, we won't ruin it for everyone.
And she has a visual where she wakes up, and my dad comes into the room, and he's basically looking around the room, and she's like, she holds her arms out the way that he did to her, and you see that in the music video as like a symbol of what they used to do when they were younger. Like, for example, when like you have a little thing with like a handshake, like it's a symbol of like your friendship or some symbol of something, right? And it was a symbol of like our love for each other, right? Father and daughter love. So I do that towards him, and he walks out of the room. So I'm like,
you have to stop right there.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm like, what? Why did you do that? So then, yeah, and then ...
Yeah, the way, the message basically, how where we always have these moments where you are so regretful when something happens and someone's taken away from you.
Yeah.
Being that your soulmate, being a family member, that at that moment where that thing happened, where you stand with that person, how you said goodbye the last time, how you guys walked away from each other, it's gonna make a rest of your life affect you in so many ways if that was not on good terms.
Because that's just gonna be a replay over and over.
You could have even been very close to that person, but that last minute something happened, you walked away without giving love to each other.
And you can never really physically apologize or even talk it out, because it's gone.
Yeah. And in our story, we, as you were, we'd have a twist, but either way, if there was even no twist, if that happens and the other person is gone, still the same. It makes no difference, because still the one left behind, I believe, is the one hurting a lot more than the one who left this world.
Yeah.
Because that's the hard part.
You don't really realize what you've done until there's
like
been
that.
clashback for it. So I feel like that's basically the moral of our story. But yeah.
When it comes to art, I feel like there's a lot of people, especially in the States, possibly, where the idea is work, grind. And I'm a part of that. I'm work, grind. And trying to kind of explore that creative side and that art side. How important do you guys think that is? Because I feel like you guys are very artsy people.
Yes.
You guys really love to express yourself with clothing, with music, and art.
Yes.
Right.
So how important is that to you guys and your family, and should more people incorporate that within their
Like
lives?
the work grind type thing.
Yeah.
I mean, when it comes to like me writing a song, for example, I know, like, I've heard from a bunch of artists them saying like, oh, I'll write a song every day or do this or that. Yeah, sure. But how good is a song? How good are the lyrics? Yeah, it could be a cool melody, but that's amazing. But I'm saying, I feel like the lyrics wise, it kind of comes naturally. Like, I've woken up at, like, for Cynical, I've woken up, or I've just been laying in bed, and I'll just, like, I have a word stuck in my head. And I'll base it off of that, and it just kind of flows.
Yeah.
And it just comes out. And then if, like, I'm really lazy, I'll just, like, go on my voice recorder and just record it real quick, and the next morning I'll, like, hear it back, and I'll be like, oh, yeah, that was really good. And then I'll just go off and then, like, plan the story and how I want to say it.
Yeah.
And I basically do say it. I don't try to really rhyme it. I don't try to, like, make sure it has, like, an A, B, C font with the way, like, lyrics go or poetry goes. It just kind of goes. You know what I mean? So I do think it is actually very important to have, like, the work grind thing, because practice, I wouldn't say makes perfection, but practice does help so much. Like, instruments and singing, even, like, techniques. I feel like that is so important to know and have. So I would say that aspect is very important. Fashion-wise, I would say take what resonates. What you see, if you like it, you, like, incorporate it. You know what I mean? But I would always say, like, know your worth, know who you are, and, like, what you believe in, what you, like I said, resonate with, and go with that. Don't really go with, I wouldn't say other people. Of course, you can take inspiration from other people. Other people have great styles, but you can definitely take in what you believe into your fashion. And I feel like that's very important. Like your morals, for example. But yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I just pretty much ditto to what she said. At the same time, for us, like, one thing I've been told as a little kid, and I think she's the same way, we're dreamers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I have, like, dreamers. I've been told this word when I was a little kid, my whole family, and I've, like, stuck to that.
All of his license plates are dreamers.
Oh, nice.
Just spelled a little differently.
Yeah.
We say all his license plates, like, how many license plates does he have? No, it's funny because, different spelling of dreamer is on there.
Yeah.
But at the same time, for us is like, I know one thing I'm gonna share with you, and I've been preaching this to her: believe in half of what you see, nothing of what you hear in this world. So I've been told that with my father, Godfather, all my life. So I feel like I am a visual storyteller. I like with my hands,
100%.
and also it could be from still grayscale drawing to just a simple still photography to motion cinematography. Motion cinematography for me was like the best way of telling stories.
Yeah.
Lyrics and music, it's another way of telling your stories, and she's unbelievable, Christian, with the way she writes her lyrics. And I, like, seriously tell you, like, the songs, you were like, either that or she'll send you the lyrics. Read the lyrics, and when you read it, you're like, oh, okay, because it's like almost like a way with words that it's not your common way of saying this is, for example, black or this is white. You start from a white to a gray scale to getting darker and darker to get to black. It's a way of just bringing out your message with lyrically. She's just amazing.
Something to add on too, when I do write as well, sometimes I don't really even understand of course I understand what I'm saying, but, like, I don't fully understand, like, my interpretation of what I'm saying, and I'll write it because it's like that like natural instinct to just write it down. It's not really just like think about it, you just write, right? And so later on, I'll be either recording it or like even after I've recorded it, like maybe a year after, or months, whatever, I listen back or I read it back and I'm like, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
I just had that happen.
Crazy.
Yeah, a little bit. But like I was like,
Not too Christian, but
I was like, I just had this happen and I wrote about it years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, whoa. Like,
yeah,
it's interesting. Sounds absolutely insane and psychotic, but I think it's kind of cool.
No, that is cool.
But yeah, I also think that's very cool about some of the things that happen. It's like they happen for a reason.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
And what are some other things? For example, my dad, something he always told me was dream big. Just like you're saying, dreams. What are some stuff that your parents or your dad told you growing up that really stuck with you?
World.
I would say what he said, believe nothing of what you hear and half of what you see. That's a big one that I've always resonated with because...
What exactly?
What is the world, by the way? The world is...
Oh, and he also tells me the world is your oyster.
Okay.
That's my thing. I was a little kid. The world is oyster. You dream big, you live big, you do what you want.
Yeah, but that means like believe half of what you hear, nothing what you... I'm sorry. Believe nothing of what you hear, half of what you see, because you're being told it. You don't know exactly, for example, the hearing part.
Mm-hmm.
You're being told like what has happened. Were you there? Do you know? Like, were you a part of it?
Yeah.
Like, you're probably getting it from different vessels. Sorry. You're probably getting it from different vessels that heard stories that all interpret it differently and then are all sharing it differently.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why in the saying, believe nothing of what you hear and then half of what you see, because you never know what was set up. You never know what could have been a purpose to you, like seeing that and them wanting a specific like inclination to how you see it. So I feel like that one's always been a very like you see or hear it like double think it, like I don't think that's really the right vocabulary for that, but like reinterpret it, like think about it again and like evaluate it, because like you never know what's really right and wrong or true or false. That's kind of how I saw that, and that's a big one. So
and then going into the dreaming part, or the world is your oyster. How important is that for people to realize? Because I think a lot of people, unfortunately, maybe it's the people they're around or their environment growing up, they don't really understand that the world is their oyster. You can do anything in this world. I think anything is possible.
Yeah,
you know,
I completely
if you work,
agree.
You grind, you meet the right people, you put in the effort,
right,
you can make anything happen.
Yeah.
Why do you think sometimes people don't really realize that? Is it not having a mentor?
That's a big one. I feel like also not having the right people around them and not realizing also their self-worth. Their, I wouldn't say insecurities, but their own doubts that makes them believe that they aren't good enough to have those type of values or to have those types of prosperities or dreams. I feel like that's a big part of it, because the people you're around, the energy you're around, it really creates doubt or like disbelief in some aspects, because like I said, believe nothing of what you hear, half of what you see, because it's inclinated by the people around them. Yeah. So I feel like that's a big part of it. I wish people could see their own self-worth, because you can do so much when you figure out who you are, no matter how late in the game you are for that, quote unquote. But people can do so much with the right attitude and like not persuasion, but like I feel like it does have to do a lot with how you feel about yourself and your own self-worth. Yeah. But, yeah. And something that we talked about last time was insecurities. Definitely. And like for me, for example, was the whole underbite. Your dad gave me all the right terms for it, because I still don't know what it's called. But the underbite, I had an underbite, and then basically I had double jaw surgery. Right. And that's something that I always felt insecure about, and it was always in my head, and I played it off well. I played it off like, oh, I'm confident, I'm this and that, but always in my head. It was always in the back. It's deep down. And overcoming those insecurities will definitely help. Oh, 100%. But then also surrounding yourself with the right or like-minded people. Right. Because, for example, all my buddies, I don't think I've ever really had anyone doubt me. Yeah. I've always had friends that were like, yeah, Because it's
Go ahead.
newfound, like when you feel as if like you've connected with yourself and like your own self-worth, it's like it's a different type of motivation.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I wouldn't say a drug, but
it feels like that sometimes. You feel
like
unstoppable.
Adrenaline.
Yeah.
It's like you can really do whatever you want, but
Yeah.
You know what I mean. But it's really uplifting when you find out like things about yourself that you never thought were possible, or the things that you can do that you were dreaming about beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's also a different type of like medication.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to say something in regard to that. You know, yes, you are basically in this world placed to pick a lot of time the people you may want to have around you. You're selected, you could be selective on that. But you were born into a family, and I hope and pray that if anybody, you know, older gets to watch your podcast, that if it's a parent, I plead to them to not force your kids to be you.
Not live their dream through
like
you.
Not try to have them live your dream. Let them live their dream and help
Support
them, guide
them.
them, support them, because that's what I think the most important thing. I believe, and I have like a couple of examples. One, like I was very little, and I was in the room. There was music going on, and I was like doing my own thing, and I was singing the song my own way.
Yeah.
And I have a family member. He walks in. He actually is a good singer too. He walks in like, "Oh my God, you were singing? I heard you singing. You haven't been singing for a while. You sang pretty good." And I'm like, "Really?"
Yeah.
It's like, maybe you shouldn't sing for a little bit longer. You shouldn't, so you even get better. He said that to me, and I swear, to this day, that caused a thing within me that I didn't want to sing in public anymore.
Yeah.
I just was not up for it. I didn't want to do it. I felt so insecure and shy about it.
Yeah.
As an artist, if you doubt yourself, the best singers in the world, if they doubt themselves, they don't breathe well, they don't enunciate well, they don't belt out from their it doesn't work. You're not going to sound good, no matter how much you are unbelievable. If you are not up here, like being guided, being put up on the pedestal that you can do this.
And like a little thing to that too, when, like for example, if somebody is really already very famous, of course there's going to be hate. Of course there's going to be hate.
Yeah.
And some people are very alone, and I feel like it's so important to have those like close, the people that you can trust around them, because there are going to be people who will put you down, and it's inevitable. It really is. But it depends on the people that you surround yourself with, and the people that you can like be around, because that's what happens. A lot of artists these days, they support drugs, and then they go on all these different, I wouldn't say support, they like lead to drugs or alcohol, and like God forbid ever suicide, because they feel so alone in this world because of so much hate that was put towards them, and they didn't have anybody.
And
So.
I believe also to be brought up in such a good, safe, sound, protected environment before you make it big is really essential, because
it centers you, keeps you
because so many,
it's
I
values.
I don't want to mention names of all these stars that so gifted, so talented, the whole world wants to know them, the whole world wants to be around them, and they end up like dying alone in a dark room, committing suicide with ways that, and the whole world at that point are like in distraught and shock, like, how could this happen? You had the whole world around you, why were you like so alone? It's because when you make it and you haven't had that sound, love, protection from your close ones, then everybody wants to be your friend, everybody wants to be your family, everybody wants something from you, and that's where they close off the world around them. They don't trust no one.
It is so important with the way you act towards people and the way you support them, because you never know what is going on.
Right.
So, also, karma.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. You know, when you said suicide and artists and stuff, the first person that came to mind was Kurt Cobain,
Yeah.
Nirvana and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think it just
Chris.
shows fame, money, all that. It doesn't
matter.
It doesn't matter. And at the end of the day, is having community and having those people around you that support you,
Yeah.
that listen to you.
Of course, it's
You
like
mentioned
nice.
Kurt Cobain. I'm sure you know Chris Cornell too.
I think, who's that? I forget.
You don't know?
No.
Oh my God. Well, at the same time, Kurt Cobain with his Nirvana,
Uh-huh.
there was Soundgarden.
Okay.
And the lead singer after that, when did Audio Slave, his name is Chris Cornell.
Yeah.
To me, he is to this day in history, one of the rock god singers of time. Seriously, this Chris Cornell
Lyrically, too.
oh my, if anything, now we're promoting for another artist.
Yes.
If you
That's
ever
good,
sit
that's
down,
good.
listen to
It's important to support.
Yeah.
Like a Stone from Audio Slave, Chris Cornell.
Okay.
Listen to the lyrics. It's about a person who talks about how the world around him tells him that the time comes he's going to die, he's going to be all alone. But then he knows it's not like that, because if he puts his head down, he's going to basically go to that higher place. He's going to be at a place where he wants to be. There's basically heaven there. There's like, it's not scary like he's been told in the world.
Yeah.
And at that moment, he's going to be up there, but he's going to still wait for his loved ones to join him later, that he's not leaving them. He's
Like a
Yeah.
stone.
like a stone. He's going to be up there like a stone waiting for them.
Yeah.
And this, and then he died like that, by himself, in a time where he had concerts where the whole world thought he's in a
Sought
better
after
place, and the whole world wanted to be around him. Same way with like Kurt Cobain, him gone from this world.
But yeah.
The guy from was it Linkin Park?
Yeah.
Him too. Like so many. It's just gone so fast, too soon. So sad. The whole world could have them around them more, would be amazing.
Yeah.
But that's one thing, when you are an artist, you never die too.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing that
You always remain in history.
Yes. Yes.
Mm.
I have so many stories, but I'm going to be quiet.
So a question for me, music, that was something that really helped me get out of holes.
Oh yeah,
you know,
definitely.
music just, and it's so weird as humans, like these sounds and stuff all put together, they make you feel different
can be
emotions.
A song.
Yeah.
You start as a song.
And it's so weird, and it's so powerful as well.
Yes.
For me, I usually gravitate towards sad music. I don't know why that
You
is.
should listen to my other songs.
Yeah, I will. I think one of my favorite songs is, I think Black is the New Blue or something. Let me check. I wonder if you guys have heard it. I have a playlist that's called My Top 5 Songs. Black Gives Way to Blue by Alice in Chains. Have you guys heard that song?
Oh, I don't think so.
I literally tear up every time listening to the song. I don't know why. I just like, and it's about a death, and it's about like, the first line is like, I don't want to feel no more.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, it just makes me tear up, because it's just like, oh fuck, I felt that before, you know?
Yeah.
Why do you think there's different genres that we gravitate towards? Is it our natural personality?
I think it's also the things that are surrounded by us. It's
Mhm.
the things that we felt, and once we feel like somebody has had the same experience, we're like, oh wow, like I resonate to this. This is like my new thing. This is exactly what I've been looking for, because I feel like I can connect to somebody, because maybe that certain person doesn't have anybody that they can connect to.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're in a good mood, you want to possibly listen to good music or happy music. But I know a lot of people also, when they're in like a good mood, they also listen to sad music, because maybe it's just like more of the melodic ways in that like perspective. It's calm and it's like relaxing. But I think it has a lot to do with also personality and lyrics. But I don't know how people listen or interpret lyrics in songs, or even the beats. Some people listen more to the lyrics, some people want it to be more beats or acoustic, whatever. But I do feel it has a lot to do with like in that moment, or the things that they have experienced and they can connect to. Like you said, you felt that before.
Yeah.
So that's why you were like, oh my God, I connect to this song, this person.
Yeah.
So you're going to dive deeper. You're going to look for songs like that and be like, like, let's create a playlist. Let's see what else I can find that is like that, so I can listen to it again and just like be in my own mind and relax like that. So that's a little bit what I think about that.
Yeah, well, I too, again, agree to 100% to that. And I think the best feeling with music or films or way of expression that anyone as an artist does is to take the audience on a journey for that moment. And depending on what you've experienced in your life is where you connect with that story, I believe. And visually, when you see it, it's more easier to grasp. And you usually end up, even with some visual presentations, films, people could walk away with maybe different interpretation, but mostly we're on the same wavelength of thought when you see it visually.
Yeah.
Story. But with music, it's left for a lot of different interpretation, depending on the lyrics.
That's why I don't like to say what my songs are really about, because I want people to connect on their own and interpret it in their own way so that they can resonate with what they see best fit or what feels the best to them, because in this way, with what I've said, it resonates to something that they've experienced or something that they've like been through. So I'd rather not say why exactly I wrote it. I would love for other people to take in what feels the best. So that's also very important.
Yeah, and I hope that I see some artists, they take a route of getting attention more than what they're stating or what they're putting out to be true to themselves, but they know if they put this concept within their storyline, they get more attention. That's a part that I hope, and I know Zofia is more clear on stating what she believes, not just to say it to get arousal of the audience or get number of hits because she was
the views accounts, not getting caught up on that.
And I hope, and I always tell her, what you put out as far as a message, you have to really think,
evaluate and analyze.
to make sure that
this is
not even a 0.001% of whoever heard your song take that interpretation in a wrong way,
which happens so much these days.
They could end up hurting themselves as an audience, or doing something to them, or like in any way put them to a place where it's not definitely her intention to be. That's one thing that we want to make sure that no matter how deep the message and different ways of interpretation, that it's never in a negative way that could cause harm to the person who hears it. Because that's definitely something I think
the worst possible thing that can
happen. And
I
can mention so many artists that they've done that. They do this.
It might not even be in their control too sometimes.
Yeah, but they kind of knew what they're doing by doing it. Maybe not in their own way of doing things, but put it out to create this controversy, and by doing that end up
lots of talk.
Yeah.
One thing that I thought about a couple weeks ago was the thought of being under the microscope of, people, of society and stuff. And when you put yourself out there, when you're doing music, you're doing any type of art, you're now going to be under the microscope.
Analyzed all the time.
And I think a lot of people like to think that fame is cool, especially growing up. It's so like drawing because you want that validation, you want that acceptance. I think we're very primal in that sense of we want people to look up to us and feel a type of way. But I don't think they realize that there is actually a lot of responsibilities and a lot of like what you just said.
Okay.
That's the whole message of it too. It's cynical. It's like in this song where she starts off where in a relationship, and in this relationship she is not cynical. She's the sweet, like caring, giving person, and then the person she's with, as it goes on, you can see the things that this person is doing to you individually, man or woman, doesn't matter. It takes you to a place that usually you're not. It gets you, your blood boiling, it gets you angry, for you to snap or respond where you generally would not. And not to blame the other person, but then a lot of time relationships and who you're with takes you in places that later on you look back and say, this is not me. I would have never done that. I would have never reacted like that. But once you break walls and you do certain things, it's
like breaking boundaries, basically.
Too late. You can't go back. And this is the premises of the song. But then as it goes on toward the end of it,
it's like, what if it's the world?
Yeah. Basically, she says that to you, that like, because okay, don't look at me like I'm the bad one. Yes, when you say the person made me act in a way that I shouldn't have, then you should have walked away from that person. You should have not stayed in that relationship to become cynical. That means you are cynical. If you're telling me the person made you do it, then you must be the one doing it.
Yeah.
But then it says, don't look at me in that sense, because what about all of us? The world around us.
What about materials? What about possessive pearls?
Do you believe that every day you walk out into this society and you are exactly who you really want to be, or are you putting up a bit of
like a
front because you want to be part of this society? You don't want to be outcasted. You don't want to come out in your tiny like little underwear into the public. Yeah, I'm out. No, you have to put your clothes on. You have to, in many simple ways. Yeah. But you have to cohort. You have to be with this society in order to be part of it. Yeah. And that's the whole message of cynical. It's like the whole world. The sentence she says, what about the world puppeteering you who to be, right?
What about society puppeteering on who to be, like breaking all your bones just to show you're not alone?
Right. Yeah. So you break all your bones just to show that you're not the only one.
Breaking all your morals, values, just to show that you aren't an outcast. You aren't alone. You want to be cool, fit in. But you're breaking everything that you believe in just to prove that to other people.
Yeah, so don't
do it.
Don't break my bones because I'm telling you I became cynical because of somebody else.
Yeah.
Because I bet you are in so many ways yourself going through this every day because we want to be part of this society. Yeah.
Well, first, I will definitely start wearing just my underwear.
Yeah. Jumping out.
I'm so glad you caught on to that.
Yeah, I will start doing that. But no, that's very true. It goes back to, again, those primal feelings of being scared to be outcasted and stuff. And that's a terrible feeling.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and I get it. People try and fit in.
They look down on you for it.
Yeah. People should realize that it's okay to be different and just show your true self, to break out of that norm. And
still like physically the same. You know, we're just different fonts or different size, colors, shapes, like ethnicities, origins. It doesn't matter. We're still all coming from same place back in the day. Like we're all the same, but at the same time we have to accept what is different, because how boring would this world be if we were black shirt, black pants, black shoes, certain hair, certain like eye color, like what can we control? You know, it honestly comes to a lot of people are like made fun of for things that they can't control. You know, so like accept what's different. Like don't be so I would say the word anal about it, but like don't be like that towards something that other people can control. You know what I mean? Yeah. But
yeah, it sucks sometimes people just realize that too late. And I think that's, as you get older too, you start realizing that it's just no one really cares what you're doing.
No one cares.
And to kind of just change a little subjects, beliefs. What do you guys think this is all about? Being alive. Yeah.
Being alive. Ooh, that's a big one.
Yeah. I love this question because everyone thinks differently, and I'm very.
First, can you break the question down, because that's a pretty wide open question.
I want it to be very broad. So first, I'll start with this. In the world, everyone is they love to push their ideas, and I think everyone has such a subjective view in life,
right?
And to ever be like arrogant enough to say, no, you should think this way. It's like, oh, come on, man.
Yeah.
So I love having these conversations because we can just think openly and people can see other perspectives.
Right.
So for me, for example, I don't know. I have no idea what's going on. I think that this is all random. I don't believe in God, so I just kind of think everything's kind of random. And it's not that I don't believe in a God. It's I just don't know. So if it was God at the end of when I die, he's like, "What's up?" I'm like, "Okay."
Okay, cool.
If it's like an Easter bunny, if it's the spaghetti monster, I'm like, "Okay, cool."
Yeah.
So I don't know. And I love just hearing other people's ideas. So what do you think this is all about?
So we may sound a little psycho sometimes.
Okay, no, let's hear it. I love it.
I wouldn't say that I really believe also like in a God, but I do, and I know he does as well. We've talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
We believe in like higher powers.
Okay.
And there's definitely a lot more depth that comes with the things that we think. Like,
it's not black and white.
Yeah, the world isn't.
We have like little things we say.
Yeah.
It relates to
little quirks.
Stories that she's working on that she's telling stories. And
yeah, but
one of them based on this is the world is more than just black and white.
Yeah.
Related to life. And
because things aren't as they seem, I would say. Like, dreams are a big one.
Okay.
The things that we envision, our gut feelings, like, these aren't just, I wouldn't say random. I would say things happen for a reason. Like, I've had some crazy dreams. He's had some crazy dreams that have predicted things and have come true. So, like, I've had different dreams about that. But my beliefs, it's such a big thing. Who knows who believes in, until you really experience it. But at the same time, I feel like we all have a little grasp on what it is. Yeah, I feel like you explain it.
Your experiences
base
are
you
left
off.
for interpretation based on your
Yeah, it's kind of like,
experiences.
it's like not about the whole following thing. Like, I want people to believe in whatever they believe in. That is their thing. That is their own, like, prejudice, I believe the word would be. But I really do believe it's what we experience. It is what we see around us. It is the feelings that we get. Like, for example, when something is happening, like, wrong, or something is going to happen, you have that gut feeling. You know, it's like, those are bigger beliefs than anything else. I wouldn't say maybe it's a higher power. I could say it's even yourself. You're just inclined to those types of things. And so I just believe there's so much more than what is led on to be. Like, just, it's supposed to be this way. We're supposed to believe in this. When it's broken down, like, there's so many different things going on that we don't know about.
So would you say God is like, or the higher power is everything, like these emotions, these feelings, or?
Go ahead.
No, I want you to finish, then I'm going to
No, you finish it, because you explain it much better than I do.
Well, you're basically asking to me a psychological related question where there's no absolute yes or no's.
It's just like
there's theories based on.
Exactly.
So this question, you're trying to find out where your co-partner in this podcast interview idea or mentality sits toward this stuff.
Right.
And related to psychology, we have a wide spectrum. We have from the most skeptical, non-accepting, questioning everything about life, death, God, and like non-believer in so many ways and only can see black and white kind of mentality, skeptical. And then that spectrum from that point on can go to the other extreme of the most credulous, accepting everything. Oh my God, I saw the spirit, I saw the ghost, I saw this, like that mentality. Now from skeptical to credulous point of mentality, you have million different thoughts, ideas, and these could be theoretical thoughts, this could be experimental thoughts, it could be experienced in which way? actually saw it or visioned it or dreamt it.
Because there's so many people that actually go out to try and find what is more about this world. They go out and do Ouija boards. They go out and like, give me a knock if this is true. Like,
Yeah, this is going again in that spectrum.
Yeah.
So depending on where this individual you're talking to, sitting in that spectrum, the ideas about life, death, higher power, is so vast. So many theories, so many ideas that I was telling her too, in life, from what you experience and what you have questions about, what you study or you go after to find out, you will probably have your own perspective of life. And I call it your own painting of life. I say every idea that you have experienced or picked could be a different hue, different color, different saturation, different hue. You pick those individual colors that you experienced or made sense to you, and you take a brush, and with those colors you paint your perspective of life, death, God, higher power, and all of that.
I believe also, like, whatever you see is possible, like ideas and the things around you, if you believe that that's possible, then it is.
Yeah. And again, you would
obviously I'm not gonna fly away here, but like
you never know.
You never know.
Yeah, that's what my buddy used to say.
Flown away many times in my dreams, so you never know.
Yeah, that's true. We all
and at the moment that it happens,
who knows when it's actually gonna happen? Because
I know if
also,
you really want, it could happen.
Yeah. Also, I mean, what I've heard, we're only using like 4 or 5% of our brain. We could do so much with like more of an expanse of that like power.
Yeah.
Like, we are living in just the theoretical, like, is that true? Let's go test it out. Then they see a little message and they're like, oh, it is true, but I don't know, you know?
Yeah.
But like, I believe that these things are endless. I don't ever want to see something and ever be like, nope, not true, because there's a reason I saw it too, you know?
And that's again based on your interpretation of what you've experienced, because you can put 5 people and show them all the same thing, and
they'll all interpret it differently.
They all interpret it in a different way.
So it's really hard to answer that question, like, what are your beliefs in that type of sense? But I just think that it's endless. Like messages are endless, and visions, dreams.
And that's actually something in her songs, in her videos that we're in the process of doing, she actually wants to bring out. Which I couldn't be happier, because I've always been in that.
Like I talked to you about the prophecy thing. That's something that I talked about. It's going into a different state of mind. It's witnessing, feeling different things that are unlike the things that we feel on a daily basis. So I want to be able to talk about that, because the world isn't just what we're seeing.
Yeah.
There are things around us. There are energies around us. There are so many things around us that we don't see that meet the eye, but we feel, you know? So I want to be able to portray and talk about that. Yeah.
I think the reason why I was asking that is because once you find your fundamental truth of what you decide the world is, then you base your life around that, right? So you start going, I'll use myself for an example. I think I'm in that middle spectrum. I really don't know, and I never knock anything. For example, I went on a date once, and this girl was really into tarot cards and like spirit guides and like all this stuff. And, you know, I feel like some people might immediately be like, what the heck, this girl's weird. But like, to me, it was like, oh, interesting. I'm sure there are some weird stuff that does happen that I see sometimes, and I never put the energy towards it, so I can't immediately knock it, right?
But you don't block it out either. You allow it to hear.
I mean, there's also a reason why there's so many sayings about this. It can't just be like, oh, this person thought of it here and there, so that's where the theory came from. No, it's obviously from experience and like things that have actually happened that come from those like theories. So I think that's also a big thing with that.
There's that saying they say, if you're the only one talking, you never learn anything.
Yeah.
It's good to, I believe, always to keep an open eye, open mind, open ear. At the same time, believe half of what you see, nothing of what you hear.
Yeah.
Because it's unfortunate. I mean, the society, like my father also he always used to tell me, if you have something nice, say it. If you don't have anything nice, don't say anything. Even if you know something, do not say it. Just if you know something nice, to say it. The way I see a lot of the society right now, it's the opposite. It's like, first, if they have something nice, they won't say anything.
Yeah.
If they have something not nice, oh my God, it's going to be all over the news, everywhere. But they will even go to the extent of creating things because they don't want to say anything nice. And that's the part that is really hard, especially for celebrities these days, when they get...
It's like their curse.
Yeah, like they get so much hate from people for no reason. Even celebrities that were loved beyond belief globally, and the people kind of diss them. They not only forget about them, they put all this negative energy, negative perspective for them till we lose them, and then everybody starts crying, oh my God, he or she is gone, how could this happen?
And it's also so hypocritical because people preach right now. I see it all the time on TikTok, especially. People preach all the time that we have to like support each other, we have to do this, we have to do that, when they're the same people that are telling like their celebrity like people like to go do this or that, like saying really rude things when they're the one preaching that we're supposed to be supportive of each other. So where is their middle? Where is their like boundary? Because like that's coming. Yes. You're not praising what you're preaching, you know.
That's again coming to what we were talking about. That's where when you are as a person grounded, where you come from a love and support of your family, that the knowledge, the trust that you've been given, that no matter what these things come about, and I keep telling you, don't be surprised the day that you, for example, you truly make it, which I truly believe you will, but the day that comes, when you truly make it, if you are not grounded, you're going to regret forever you started this, because everybody wants you, everybody wants a part of you, everybody wants to be around you, and you want to be left alone. And you don't trust anyone because you had all these people around you before. Why weren't they so loving then? Why are they so
everything?
Yeah, so that's, and I hope and pray that you are in that place for how the values we've tried to put upon you. So
so foundation is key.
Oh my God, I believe so, and I think that's where a lot of these things happen for younger, really talented kids that all of a sudden break through. We see it in history. All of a sudden they go through the transition from being the best, wholesome, loving boy or girl. They, every next door family would want the boy next door or the girl next door, to like a crazy making a statement that I'm this, I'm that, and like going off the deep end and making themselves to be hated by the world. And then they try to find themselves coming back to reality, becoming religious, this and that. And sometimes one extreme to another also, it just shows that you're not grounded. That's the sad part of it. And as much as they're wealthy, as much as the whole world wants to know them, they want to be away from everyone.
Yeah.
And
then going into that foundation, what are some things that your parents instilled in you? And then how are you passing that down to Zofia?
My parents... Oh, you're talking to me?
Yeah.
Well, like I said, the thing was they didn't let me... I come from a very loving family, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I love them more than anything in this world. If it wasn't them, I wouldn't be here. It's not... None of that. But at the same time, I always, like, even to this day, give my mom a hard time as much as I love her. For what I do, I'm good at it. But is it what I wanted to do? Not really. I wanted to go, follow my passion, because I'm going to work every day. As much as I like what I'm doing, but it's not my passion to do.
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted always for her brother, for the younger one that we have, for them to have that be confident about themselves and go after their dreams. And meanwhile, do your studying, do your schooling, so
Always
your
have a
plan
plan
B
B.
is what everybody's going for.
Yeah.
But your plan A should always be your passion in life. That's I think what I've put upon her, for her to be able to follow her dream.
100%. Yeah.
And we come from a family where her mom is the absolute opposite of me. She wants her education, school, grades.
I see you going to Stanford, Zofia.
Yeah.
I see it.
But
Take
don't
this
get
class,
us wrong, because
Zofia.
what that has done for her is also made her to be on top of her class with education wise, and we couldn't be happier. Because then I tell her, if you start slacking on that part,
you won't be able
I'm
to
sorry,
do the things
you're
that
not
you
gonna be
can.
able to do anything. Because as much as I'm a dreamer, if I see your plan B is ruined with your education, then it's not up to me anymore. Because right now, mom, the boss of the family, basically I call it, she is all for it as long as she's all A student.
Yeah.
The minute she comes a B, then C student, forget everything. You close down that studio. I don't care. And there's no projects going on. You need to get back on your school chore. And I'm glad that she is doing that, because without it,
we wouldn't be able to do the things that we're doing right now.
Right.
So, yeah.
And then going on to that topic of education, you said with your parents it was very pushed on.
Yes.
I think in 2023, it's getting a little interesting, where it's getting to a point where I think school is very important. It really introduces a lot of new ideas to people, especially in college and stuff, and you network as well. But we're
ideas
also
that you would never probably use ever again.
yeah, those too. It introduces you to a lot. So what do you think about today now? I mean, school, I think it's really good, but also college specifically, we're getting into a time where you don't necessarily need school to make money or this and that. You have so many different avenues of being successful, whether that's online, starting business, getting experience. What do you think about that?
I think it, like what he just said, that it is very important to have a plan B, because you're like, I want everybody to be able to pursue their plan A. And I know this is his question, but I really want everybody to really go what they want to do and makes them happy, so that their life doesn't feel like a job, doesn't feel like a chore.
Yeah.
So the fact that they always have that backup, the college, or maybe if their college is the plan A, go for it. Do everything that you can to do what you want to do. But
definitely. I have one important recommendation for whoever is going to the educational route. Try to get grants and scholarships and not that much student loans.
Yeah.
Because especially every time I hear, when I'm asking a student in college, university, what's your major? Undecided, but they're in third year in college. They have crazy. How much student loans that they've taken. Unless you come from a billionaire, trillionaire family, they're
matter.
Paying for your education. They don't care for what you're studying. Just take all the classes in the world and it doesn't matter. But if you're on your own plan for future, that you're really taking your education serious, think of every paper that you sign as far as you getting money to go to school, financial aid, because if not, that's something that's gonna
bite you in the butt,
chase you for the rest of your life. And that's what the hard time right now, economy wise, in United States is happening. All the higher education people, they have so many student loans that their income to debt ratio is off. So they don't get business loans, they don't get home loans, they get denied for everything. They're just because there's too many loans going on. And the government, every president, every time that they come right before getting elected, they make all these promises. They're going to make student loans go away. None of them do such a thing. So your student loans will never go away. Don't just sign papers. Try to get grants and scholarships, not student loans.
Be smart and strategic about it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, don't let it take up your life.
Yes.
Well, I know you guys have to go to your studio session at 8, so I want to give you guys enough time to go. But if we want to end it on one thing, Zofia, that you wanna say? I mean, maybe it revolves around your music. You know, I know your music is a specific area.
only one word.
No.
I'm just kidding.
Hello, taco. No, it could be anything. It could be about your music, about how you think about life, what you want people to feel when they listen to your music or think, or anything really.
I want people to have an open mind when listening to my music,
Mm-hmm.
because I wouldn't say mine's like crazy off topic or this or that, or it's like so like unevaluable, yeah. But that you can't even like understand. But some of my concepts that I will be putting out soon are not really what everybody goes through.
Mm-hmm.
But being able to try to visualize what I'm saying or resonate the way you want it to resonate, please have an open mind to listen to it and actually do so. And give it a chance. You know, I feel like that's a really big one. And I want it to help them. I want to be able to be the person that really does connect to them, and they feel comfortable to listen to, or even be able to talk to me about it. Like if I were to meet somebody and they listen to my music and they were to say something, I don't want them to be scared to talk to me because, oh, I'm this person or that person. You're listening to what I put out. You're listening to what I wanted you to hear.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I want people to really listen. Don't just listen to the surface. Don't listen to what the beats make your ears feel like, or like stuff like that, but to listen and look for the messages.
I think you're going to be really surprised the more people to hear it, how many people actually connect with what you say. That's the part
so.
I believe that she doesn't know, is not aware of it. Like even for Electric Eyes, and I'm going to end it on that. We were in studio doing covers for her. Yeah, covers for her.
Mm-hmm.
And then
He's always been He's always been my number one. He's motivated me. He's
good.
the one. Like I wouldn't say I don't believe in myself, but I don't see what obviously he sees. So I feel like that's also very important.
That's very powerful.
Yes.
Having those people in your life, again, going back to the community and family.
Yes.
You know, and it sucks when people don't have that. So find that.
Because he makes me feel like this is possible.
Yeah.
Like
when you have people,
is actually like that.
They believe it more than you do.
I could actually do this.
That's
No, again, so going back to that moment, and I never forget, I'm standing over her shoulder, she's sitting on the keyboard, and we just were in the process of working on one of the covers she was doing, and then she's like, you know, Bubba.
Bubba is
Papa,
like Bubba.
Bubba.
Okay.
I had this idea, this message that I wanted to put out to kids, my generation these days, that there is a lack of connection between my generation and our parents. There's a lack, because we're so close to each other, and she kept seeing it with all her friends that hardly any of them are really that close to their immediate family. That it's like she wanted to put a message out about cherishing every moment with your close knit family, like your parents. And for her generation,
Teams is most valuable.
yeah. And I told her, my love, this is not your generation. This is every generation. Kids and parents always have this bit of thing going on between them. Sometimes it's the kids, they think they know it all. I always say they have the cynicism of thinking that they know it all, young kids.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of times the parents too. They're worse than the kids. They want to force their ways to their kids as if they have no entitlement for who they are. If they own them, so they have to be the way they want them to be.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you have to let them flourish. You have to let them talk. You have to let them express themselves. And then for you as a parent to guide them if you see danger or something not that it was going to end up hurting your child, to give them your advice at that point. But at the end, you still need to let them make the decision. You have to let them make their own mistakes. You can't be tell them, here, wear my torn shirt that you're going to learn for how I tore this shirt. They have to tear that shirt up themselves. But then she tells me this story, and I'm like, this is for every generation. So I would love for us to bring that message out. And then she says, and like, what do you think of this chord? And she plays, and I swear to you, right then, Christian, I had goosebumps all over my body when I heard the chords and she played. I'm like, so how does the melody or the lyrics, how does the verse, chorus, any of it, can you have like, and then so she starts whispering it as she's playing the chorus. I'm like, we are not doing any more covers. We're gonna, from this point on, work on your songs and your message. And telling you that, from that point to the point that the video came out, it took 1.5 years.
Wow.
Yeah, because it took even 7 months for us to sit down and draw the storyboard in detail. To get it to that point together, it took 7-8 months. First, coming up with the whole song, recording it, and all that, and then for her to basically to tell me where the storyline she wants to go, for us to sit down together, put it together. It took 1 year, and people don't realize it. They thought, oh, this was done over the night, or they just took. And that's why at the end of it, we have the all the people involved in it to see it. It's a lot of work, especially if you're not a big studio with $1 million budget. You're doing it from your home, starting off.
Yeah.
But I think at the end of it, the messages that she's gonna give out, and that's the excitement part that I cannot withstand, is waiting for the next one to come out. We're like two of them right now.
I'm not patient. He always tells me that. It's like, you have to be patient. I'm like, sorry.
Two of them, Cynical and Toxic Rhythm, we're working on right now. They're gonna come out. Toxic Rhythm is gonna be like a.
It's a very like heartfelt, like not. I wouldn't say.
It's hard. It is hard.
It's like cute.
Comedy, but heartfelt, and it's gonna be like.
Lyrics aren't really that deep. Just.
It is. Oh my God, it is. Don't even say that. Don't even say that. But that's not the last thing you want to say. Lyrics are not that deep.
No.
As a matter of fact, it's so cute. It's so like resonates with like so much. Like, and I'm gonna tell you this: the synopsis. Basically, you see like montage close up of these characters, and first of all, it's gonna be like done in 2D cartoon caricature hand grayscale drawings, but they live in a 3D world, these characters, and there's four main characters, which is her and 3 iconic history characters in this story. That starts off with, it's a cartoon. It starts off with one where she says the way he walks, the way he talks, the way he moves, and shows this character that's so cool, this boy that all the girls love. But then she says, but I'm sorry, it's me, I don't care. It's like, I'm not falling for that. It's because the way I walk, the way I talk, the way I do things, I'm a girl, I do what I want. But I'm sorry, I know I'm hurting you, all of that, but I just can't help it. I'm not in love with you. To the day the third one comes, the third character was this first one, her. Then the third one comes, it's like this character that when she sees, she's like, oh my God, my world just changed. I'm alive. I'm in love with you. And these two, they have these things when you see her. Like, for example, she only has one leg, one big long right leg, and a small hand holding a cane because she doesn't have a left leg. The other one that she falls in love has a big left leg, cane on the right. So they're like meant, like the whole message is as different as you may think. As
there's always somebody
as you're in your heart and your mind, you think you're gonna live an internal loneliness. Don't. You just better hope that you, in the differences, you're not the one sitting waiting. You're the one looking to find your soulmate, because there is one for you. And hopefully for you, you're the one looking, because if you're just sitting waiting, it may take a long time, it may take a lifetime, and it may never happen if you close the door and say, goodbye, there's no one like me, right?
Yeah.
And that's the message that we have in this song.
And this comes back to when I was talking about how I write things and I don't realize it till later. I wrote this when I was 10. Currently I'm 16. I wrote this when I was 10, and this story, we created
By accident.
by accident. We were doing like, you know, the funny 0.5 pictures that people take.
Yeah.
Me and him were doing that because
by chance,
I
laughing,
put
doing
on
it.
like a funny like little hat, and he's like, "Oh, it looks so cute. Like, let's take photos of it." So he leans back. We're doing a little photo shoot with the 0.5, and I do this weird move where it looks like I have 1 foot.
Yeah.
Well, huge foot,
Like
big
one
foot,
huge
and the whole
foot.
story starts
And
from
the
there.
whole story started there, and then we start connecting details. He's like, and I'm like, "Oh, well, let's use it for a song." He's like, "Oh, yeah, we can do it for a song." And I was like,
Right, like, what about
and he's like,
it?
"What song?" And I'm like, "What about Toxic Rhythm?" He's like,
Oh my God, it's like
the
it's like an
lyrics-
epiphany, like
because the
goosebumps
lyrics,
everywhere.
The lyrics,
Yeah.
like, you got that it when you walk, when you talk. I mean, damn, who can't stare when it's you? I can't bear.
Yeah.
You know, it's literally what this cartoon is about. So it's like you don't realize. I didn't realize what I wrote until later on, and it comes back to me, and you're like, oh my God.
And this speaks volumes for these days, especially that no matter how different you are, like can be more weird than having only one big right foot and a cane walking. But then when you look at her, she is so cool. Every kid in that school, boy, is in love with her, you know, with all her differences. And then who in the world would think there's another person just like her, mirror image of her, for him to have his left big foot and right hand holding the cane, and when they come in front of each other, it's like they're mirror images. And how they put their hand, and now they each have one leg and they start walking away. Like, it's like so cute, but at the same time such a profound, I believe, message for people that don't be sad if you're different. You know, think of it that you're unique and there's always someone for you in this world.
And that was a conclusion to our long last word.
Yes.
No,
My
that was
long
beautiful.
last word would be effervescence.
Yes, effervescence.
Because that means
Beautiful.
like bubbly and like
Yeah.
so, yeah, so that's what I would choose.
We're
as my
gonna
last
end this
word.
podcast on effervescence.
Yes.
Effervescence. Okay.
Effervescence.
You guys, I'm so excited. You guys are beautiful.
Oh,
Thank
You
you
guys,
so
I
much.
love your
Vice
guys'
versa.
energy, and I know you're gonna go so far.
Oh.
You have such a good foundation.
Please,
And-
thank you.
I'm excited for you guys.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much. We
Same
can't.
here.
Yeah, she was first of all, both of us. The moment we met you, we felt this amazing energy
Yeah.
I
from
felt that
you.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And to your, not maybe goodness, she's like, oh, he reminds me of you. Like he
Yeah, I was
reminded
like,
her of
Your looks
me, like
kind of reminded
our
me of him.
energy.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
I'm much older, but then
No,
like
yeah.
the same energy. That,
21
you know.
and many good nights.
Yes,
I-
that's what I say.
I told my sister that. I was like, yeah, I met these really cool people. I
Yeah.
came in,
Yeah.
and I was like, it was weird. I just felt like they got me. Like I
Yes.
feel like
Yeah.
we understood each other.
And I
you know?
swear to you, do you think we would come on a Sunday to any place to sit down and do a podcast? No, we've been
Yeah.
approached by other people and we're like, okay, we'll see, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
It's not about that. It's about feeling the good energy from
Yeah.
someone to know that
You
you're
don't
in the
just
right
do
environment.
it to do it. you
Yeah.
know? Yeah.
Well, we'll end it there. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
thank you,
you.
thank you.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
You guys
Thank you
killed
for
it.
everything.
Yeah.